I've actually been willing to make this video for a while. So I thought it's another sunny day in Dubai. Why not have a very raw, unfiltered, uncut video about things that I would tell you, even my younger self at 18 years old, 10 years ago at the time of this recording, just to give you all the insights as to what to do if you're tired of being bored. Because look, I know exactly how it feels. Just a couple of years ago, I went from stacks of unpaid bills to the skyscrapers of Dubai. And none of this is being shared to look fancy. I'm as normal as you. So if you watch until the end of this video, then you'll be able to actually get a better understanding about what is necessary for you to change your life. And I won't rush through it. I'll take my time because today I got some notes that I just want to share with you genuinely. I think the first thing that I would share is to be responsible. Look, so many people are all about complaining. When things get hard, they're all about complaining. They do everything to escape that lifestyle that they're living just for a rush of quick dopamine. And one of the biggest facilitators to my success was to get rid of this entire narrative of thinking that everything would work out exactly the way I want it. Finding out the easy fixes and the quick way outs to be able to get to the other way. And the biggest realization that I was able to draw for myself was that this was not the reality that I wanted, right? Usually when you think things can be very, very easy and very, very linear without too much pain, without too much problems, it's not the answer. Usually the answer is simple, but it's something that you're neglecting. Things like getting to the gym, things like being responsible to make more money, things like mastering your emotions when you're investing. And as long as you're not responsible for this situation that you're living right now, you're gonna find out that essentially and eventually you're not gonna be at a position where you wanna be. I think this is called the layers of competency. I think I have them on my iPad here as well. I looked them up, which is I'm gonna have them on screen as well. One of these layers is called unconscious incompetence, which is actually something like ignorance, right? You're gonna be in a position where you know, like, hey, I need to work on something, but you're ignoring it for too long. And so like there's two options in that scenario where you either just go out and look for successful people, bash on them, have massive disbelief and be like, yeah, they had a rich dad or whatever, or just make the shift yourself, right? I used to have that layer of competence as well. That was very, very low. Conscious incompetence in this case means that we are aware that a lack of knowledge and a skill exists, right? So a lack of skill or a lack of knowledge. So the moment where you feel like, hey, this is the very skill that I'm lacking to get from where I'm at right now to where I always want it to be, your consciousness increases and you can actually tackle it right away. And that doesn't mean that it's going to take you one day. It's going to be a process. It might take you months, might take you years. It's all based on how well and like how you do it. Like it's not even based on how well you do it, but just based on how you attack things, what your spirit kind of looks like. Next thing is going to be conscious competence, where you were able to actually use the new skill. There's also layers of mastery where it's like emotional, where it's subconscious, where it's at some point you becoming the embodiment of the skill, right? A proper example would be to look at somebody that's like always willing to improve in sales. They're like, yeah, sales looks like a great thing. The thing that I see in the Wolf of Wall Street movie, up until a point where your sales skills get to a level where you actually become a salesman yourself, right? And that shouldn't be the shady stuff that you see in movies. Actually, I think sales is the art of moving people in the right direction so they know they can make the best possible decision. Without getting off topic too much here, I just generally do believe that there's people that are always going to be complaining, thinking everything and everyone is a scam and is a full-blown lie. And then there's going to be other people like myself and the over 200 people that I'm helping right now that are going to be doubling down on getting their way out. Talking about that way out, I just don't generally believe that saving more is going to make you more, right? This is a reality I had to face myself as well, which was like, hey, I'm just gonna stack up my money instead of spending. I'm just gonna have my 9-to-5 salary and stack it up. And ideally, you come to the conclusion that even if you do your best effort to save up on money, that money is just gonna evaporate in the economy. Because like even though you stack money on a bank account, there's so much inflation and government overspending right now, and so much debt per citizen that you eventually are gonna figure out that as soon as you go to the store, money evaporates like a drip on a steel plate, you know? So saving more is not the answer. The answer is getting skillful. The answer is understanding that if you want to improve things like your fitness, your wealth, your health, any possible subject matter, that there is a way for you to actually improve in it as long as you have the will. And that's going to be a mindset shift that you need, that I needed, that was very, very crucial. The third thing that I would say is stop chasing money. The reason that I love money so much as I do it today is because it buys me options, right? Apartments of $12,000 a month, traveling around the world. As much as you might hate it, heating it full on means that the more money you make, the more freedom you will experience, right? Like currently at this point in my life, I'm making over $100,000 a month every single month on autopilot again and again and again with the least of my personal efforts. Now, nevertheless, I always have this opportunity where I could be scaling onto over $1 million a month. When I share my numbers, I'm talking about a combination of crypto, which is still the leading narrative for myself. It's making me more money than providing education to the world, which shows that I know what I'm talking about. But then on the other hand side, there's obviously also a business. I love to help people. I've been running a business for over 4 years. I just generally do believe that this entire consulting and education model is a very valid and proven vehicle if you're not just rambling and if you can actually help people, like we've proven to do with over 200 people. So, but at this point in my life, I've been suffering from something called non-medical air hunger, and it's been chasing me down a lot, like the last couple of days, I'm not gonna lie. And the thing that I noticed with that is that at certain points in your life, you're gonna have the opportunity to look at things full on like I do, which is I'm currently at 100 grand a month. I'm maintaining that income. Do I really want to get to $1 million a month if the trade-in for that would basically be my health? No, because that would affect my relationship with myself, with the people that I love the most, with my family, with my friends. In general, that would not be the best trade-off. I think there it's better to find common ground in looking at delegation, in looking at like what's the next level, in looking at gratitude for where you're at. And I think if you can have that full on, you can really go to that next level. On the internet, there's too much talking about like money and this and that, and even though I joined the trend, for me it's not about like these fancy Lamborghinis driving by here below me. It's not about like those fancy watches, all that stuff. It's great. I mean, like you need a trophy. There's too much negative people in the world, but in general, it's all about buying back time with the people that you love the most. And yesterday, I think I got this Instagram message from somebody that was asking me like, hey, could you invest in things that actually make the world a bit better and that avoid capitalism in the first place? I'm like, look, what is capitalism if your entire family is always working harder just to earn less, just to pay taxes like crazy? Why don't we focus on that full on, right? There's this balance that you need to keep. Obviously, yes, don't chase money. Always be happy, be grateful with where you're at. But also understand that if you have to be a 9-to-5 slave, zombie type of person that's always in the car, really just like quickly eating something just to get to your job, just to earn an average 9-to-5 salary and spend barely any time with your family. Isn't that a problem as well? Is capitalism in that case really the thing that we should try to avoid because it's bad? In general, the people saying this are the people that are afraid of making the moves that are necessary to get there. And so what I would say in this case is that you need to understand something about the universe, and this is very, very hard to explain. There's a book by Vadim Zeland called Reality Transurfing, and it explains that every single lifeline in this planet is meant to go to a certain destination. There is a version of you watching this video right now that is going to thrive and survive in my lifeline, which is making 10K a month, 100K a month, 50K a month, wherever you would personally want to be at. There's always this reality that you can transurf yourself into. But the keys that you need are the right intention, the right thought energy, as well as the right will to get there. And if you lack these three keys, you're never going to get on that lifeline. Very interesting book. I'm not going to explain or educate you on reality transurfing. I want to keep my focus on crypto. If you want to be focused on crypto as well, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now just so you can keep receiving updates on this channel. But I just generally do believe that reality transurfing has changed a lot for me. It's been able to show me like who my true friends were, but also what I needed from myself to be able to thrive and survive in a very fast-pacing economy like the one we know today. And again, to me, it's not about more money, it's about more freedom. It's about what money is able to give me. And that shouldn't always be a sunny city. You can live anywhere in the world. It's just the idea that you can see your money on a bank account as a gun, and I'd rather have a machine gun that I can keep shooting bullets at new experiences, seeing my dad happy, seeing my dad smile, family experiences with Maddie's family, all that good stuff, rather than just having one gun, shoot it once and feel like, that was 1 month of salary that just flew out. If you resonate with this, I'm not complaining, I'm not bashing you, I'm just sharing you that I resonate. It used to be what I was doing. I used to be stuck in a job that was making me 1,500 euros a month. All fun and games. I thought, let's stack it up, considering not to even look at how much money that was being printed in that time. And now it's even worse. The pandemic has created so much money out of thin air. There's so much proxy wars. There's so much loan conditions being used to fund war all around the world. And I think this is not about capitalism. It's about making the world better. If an old system is broken, you need to fix it. You need a new system. There's so much debt. There's so much printing, so much corruption. And politicians are not here for your very best interest. As much as they spread the message, they're not going to have a direct impact on your daily life. You need to be responsible. Next thing is to lift heavy weights. As much as you might want to neglect this, yeah, but this has nothing to do with freedom. Oh, you're just blah, blah, blah. Lifting heavy weights is crucial. I go to the gym every single day just to face my old self and look at my new self. There's a level of anxiety within my past that is always going to be carried along facing that better version of myself. And if you are just focused on stagnance and on staying where you're at and always being okay without being responsible for your life, eventually there's going to be a leap where life either forces you into making a couple decisions that could get you onto that lifeline to experiencing more success first time, rather than just like being responsible and doing it all step by step. I just think that the go-getters in this life are going to be the new people that are going to thrive and survive in this economy. Next thing is to learn a high income skill. Look, one of the biggest mistakes that I made, I think in general, is always relying on a boss. Always thinking that my boss would really make me thrive and survive, that my boss would pay me well, that stacking my salary would give me anything that I needed. And I think in general, the biggest kind of conclusion I had there was it was not. It was really not. Like, I came to the conclusion that money was going out faster than it came in. And as soon as I noticed that, I was like, hey, wait a minute. This shouldn't be about money. If you spend 31 days a month chasing somebody else's dreams, not to be his or her neighbor, your boss, your employer. As much as I love the boss and the employer, I'm not bashing other entrepreneurs. They have it hard as well. The entire system is rigged to also make them be in a hard situation. But if you can learn a high income skill that allows you to work commission based, you will be able to make so much more money in the process of changing other lives as long as things are ethical. So you got to focus on what kind of skill can I acquire today to make me more money. Crypto could be one of these things, but if there's no money at all to be investing, there's no money to be made. It takes some to make some, right? If you're not willing to get to the gym, you're not going to get muscle. If you're not willing to sacrifice yourself into a sales career, or if you're not willing to wake up early to show up to a call, you're never going to meet a prospect. There's always a trade-off for something. And people that don't understand that are going to be bashing others online. So that's something that you need to understand. Don't belong to that bracket of people, because there is a way out. So, if you learn a high income skill, I would say don't save the money, invest it. There's a rule that I personally have that I use in my life, which is called earn active, spend passive, which means that your hard-earned money can be used in this case to make you way much more money. And then the last thing before we dive out here is 9 to 5s are not the finish line. I remember there was a point in my life where I got my 9 to 5, sitting at a desk, calling with people that had subscription issues, and my entire family was like, hats off to you, mate. You made it. You got a solid 9 to 5. You got a great income. You didn't go to college, so the fact that you even have an income, hats off. And I was like, what is this simulation? I wanted things to be more fun. That was a mistake sometimes. I thought things were going to be easy. I was facing myself, hats on, just like looking at who I used to be, who I wanted to become. But in the midst of that, I also had this passion of helping others, of educating others. I just generally feel like that is my calling. Anything that I do, whether it's numerology, looking at science, looking at any kind of stuff, it's always telling me you need to educate others. And that's why I have been chasing this vision that has made me very, very successful alongside of crypto. And people are just generally very grateful. So what is that looking like for you? What is that very one thing where you feel like, hey, lock me up, one life, one entire lifeline, where you're like, hey, this is exactly what I want to do. This is exactly what makes me warm. Whether that's educating others, whether that's being a fitness coach, whether that's being somebody that's cleaning rooms, whatever it might be, if there's something that makes you thrive and survive, go and chase that thing. There's no way why you should settle. Maybe one last thing that I haven't written down here is to ignore the mainstream media. Everything in this world is made to keep you contracted, think you small. You're gonna think your salary is more than sufficient until you have to spend it in the actual world around you. The Dubai is a different city than most cities, so you come to that conclusion that money is not unimportant, you know. So making 100 grand can be a benefit if you get there, but then again, if your health is not in place, focus on that first. I just love how you guys keep watching these videos, how I keep getting like these DMs on Instagram and other social media platforms, and I'm gonna start to make these videos more often wherever I am in the world. Just gonna sit down, talk with you guys, share some of my thoughts, and hope that this at least inspired one person to have a better life at this point of the video. That's why I made it. So if you want to see more of this, please just let me know in the comments down below. Any topic you might have any questions about, I'm just going to sit down, have a very open conversation with you. And if you want to have my proven guidance in setting up a passive income that allows you to grow or even replace your current income within the next 60 to 90 days, just simply go down below the video, click the link that is in there, and sign up for your free 20-minute demo session. There's not a guarantee that we will be able to work together or that there will even be availability, because there's a run for the door based on the success that we have right now. But if you're on the fence of having a better life, more financial freedom, and you kind of aligned with what I shared here today, well then feel free to sign up for your demo session today. Have an amazing day. Talk to you soon, and take care, guys.